This is just south of Cáceres. And you can see we're in Spain now, and the land is so different from what we've been seeing. Now and then there'll be a dugout spot for the cows to water. Maybe it's not too late. That's the aqueduct, the ruins of the aqueduct in Merida. You can see the Romans used the bricks along with the stones. I'm going to give another chance to get this aqueduct because the train's going back out in the same direction from into the station. The remains of a Roman aqueduct. There's stork nests all along the top. See the mixture of brick and stone. That's so typical the way the Romans built their walls. Olive trees and olive trees. It's been plowed up underneath these olives. It looks like it's grain. I don't know if that's wheat that's planted there. And those piles, those are the cuttings, trimmings that they burn. They're mixed in with stones too. I've seen a lot of olives mixed with grapes. I'll get some of those in a little bit. There it's plowed up among the olive trees. There's a great hay over here. The ground looks really good. Oh, a ruin. This ground looks more like it's been harrowed than plowed. So I wouldn't think it's plowed deep. It's harrowed pretty deep. There's some plowing. It's done pretty deep right there anyway. Well, that's different. Fortification, old fortification. Yes, there's the town. The grain, I should say. Now that seems to be like grass, pasture. But the grains that I've seen oats, I've seen wheat, and it looks like rye, although it's very short. It's got long whiskers on it. I'm a little puzzled with that. Of course, the hillsides is covered with olive trees everywhere. Here's the long whiskered grain, short and yet it's ripe. I'm puzzled at it. I want to say rye. I don't think it's barley. This can't be. That's oats. That can't be rye. That must be wheat. There's just a variety of wheat that grows real short. Pretty impressive fortification up there. This is just north of Fuente del Arco. And I don't know if I'll give you a good example of it, but the piles of stone that were in there in the middle of a lot of these olive orchards are destined to be stone walls. You know, they move them after a while into the stone walls around them. We had been gradually climbing, and we just broke through I went through a mountain, a short tunnel, and came out on the other side. And this is called Guadalcanal. Guadalcanal. I don't see the canal, but that's the name of this stop. It looks different now. The nature of the country has certainly changed after we broke through that mountain. Now we're in a mountain range. You know, I've been able to often see rabbits, wild rabbits, running around down there in the ground. This looks so different from where we were. There's not an olive tree in sight, I don't think, now. I take that back what I said. Maybe these are olive trees. You don't think so, but if so, they're certainly cultivated in a very, very different way. I don't really understand why they've gone along disking like this steadily. I don't know what their plan would be for that. You've got a theory. Okay, this is sheep and or goat pasture. I did finally see a few sheep, and those they look like terraces up there. Those come from the repeated walking of the animals on that slope. There's some sheep. I suspect that it's early in the year, and they may not have been put on here just yet. Not all of it, but they've got that grazed down. There is a tremendous amount of stone wall building along here. Of course, no mortar. There's some of the sheep. But these stone walls are extremely well built. even though there's no mortar. It must just be they picked it off the land and that was what they did with the stone. Makes sense. I have a theory about these seeming roads that go in odd places. See if I can find them. I think they're fire breaks. There's some up here. I've seen them in California. I find a pine has just entered the flora. See these endless stone walls that keep growing and growing and growing. Erica figured this out. That's cork. I mean, those are trees that are grown for cork. I think it's a kind of an oak. And you can see where the cork's been taken off. Now we're back to olives. This town is called Pedroso, which means rocky place. This stone wall does follow the train, which is an indicator that maybe it had to do with the building of the train. Probably it did. Maybe there is some mortar in it. I don't know. That's a lot of work. Surely it was a material that was right here. Now, suddenly there have appeared, oh wait, maybe you can't see, yeah, they're out there. There's palms growing in the wild. Low palms, that's just suddenly appeared. And out there you can see the fire lanes that I was talking about. Here it's real obvious. Up there in the mountain it wasn't so obvious. That's like in California. This is such a different landscape now with these pines, these old big pines. I wanted to say something about the erosion pattern. I'm not sure what to say, but it obviously it gets some very hard rains and it erodes severely, but in places. Villa Nueva del Rio y Minas, that translates new village of the river and mines. I have no explanation for that. None.